All right, it's like 11:30 p.m. I want to go to sleep, but I need to record this video. So if I seem very enthusiastic about this topic right now when I'm talking, it's fake because I'm actually very tired. But I am very passionate about this, but I'm very tired right now. So we're gonna record this. I'm gonna solve some problems for you guys. I'm gonna go to sleep. You guys are gonna get some incredible results from this video. It'll change your life. Let's go. Top 3 mistakes that hard gainers make when they are trying to bulk and put on weight. Number 1 is consistency. In order to put on mass, right, you need to be in a caloric surplus. Calorie surplus, most people understand what that means. You need to be consuming more than you're burning, right? So if you burn 2,000 calories a day, you need to be eating 2,500 calories a day. Oftentimes it's hard for people to do this every single day. So what this looks like is people will eat a lot of food one day, they'll overcompensate. And so it's just a small surplus. It doesn't need to be a lot. And so what a lot of people end up doing is they'll get very aggressive with their dieting and they'll eat an enormous amount of food because they think that that's what it takes to gain weight. Because I guess that kind of is what it takes when you're not consistent. That aggressive behavior causes inconsistency. It causes this instead of this. That can work, but it's less reliable. So let me explain this to you. Let's say you burn 3,000 calories a day, right? For the sake of example, your maintenance, right, is 3K, which means that we need to eat on average more than 3K calories daily to gain weight. So let's say the goal is 3.5K per day. This is how much we need to eat to gain weight. Goal, right? So there's 2 ways we can think about this. 1, daily goal. 2, weekly goal. So this also equals what is 3.5 times 7. 3.5 times 7 equals 24.5K per week. So 2 ways we can think about this, right? 3.5K per day or 24.5K per week. This is where consistency comes in because this is really what matters. If you do this a few days out of the week, that's great. But if you're below that other days, you're not going to hit this. So here's what that looks like. Monday start of the week super strong. Let's say they get a 4.5K day. That's huge, right? Tuesday, maybe it drops down a bit. Maybe we get like 3.5. Good, that's still the goal, right? Wednesday, maybe we hit like 2K. Thursday, come back up to like 2.5. Friday, maybe we drop to like 1.5. Saturday, hit like 1K. Sunday, we got to bring it back up, right? So maybe we hit like another 2K day here. So the exact way it's split up, maybe it's not accurate. I'm just doing this for the sake of example, just to show you guys how this works, right? So this is really good, right? Monday, huge day of eating. Probably stuffs himself to the brim, probably almost threw up. So at this point, wow, if I'm eating like this, how can I not gain weight, right? And then Tuesday, still hitting the goal, doing great. Wednesday, drop down a little bit. Thursday, up the calories, but still under the goal. Still actually in a deficit. And then in a deficit all of these days as well. So what does this add up to, right? 4.5 plus 3.5, that's 8, 10, 12.5, 14, 15, 17. So all of this together adds up to 17K per week. 17,000 calories weekly. And if this is that person's maintenance calories, this means that their maintenance calories, right, meaning how many they expend already, is 21K per week, which means that they're weekly in a 4,000 calorie deficit minus 4K per week. That means that they're gonna lose just over 1 pound every single week. Even though every single week they have this massive day, they have this pretty big day, we could even add extra. Let's say here on Saturday, they even had like a 3K day. They got it up to 3K, right? Actually, no, let's be even more generous. Let's say they got it up to 5K here on Saturday. That would still put them at minus 0. That would put them at maintenance, meaning they would make 0 progress. They would not gain any weight at all. Even though they had a 4.5K day, a 5K day, a 3.5K day, because of these here, these are the days that are ruining their progress. So in order to gain weight, you can't eat a lot of food sometimes when you feel like it, when you're hungry and do it. You need to do it. You don't even need to eat enormous meals, enormous, ridiculous amounts of food. You just need to eat a little bit more every single day. Now, if this works better for you, all you would have to do is just figure out exactly how many calories you would need to eat on those select few days out of the week to hit your weekly calorie goal. So technically you can do it that way. I just don't think it's as reliable. So what that would look like, doing it the right way, let's say you want to have 2 big days out of the week where you eat a ton of food. Let's say those days for you are Monday and Saturday. So Monday, let's say you eat 6,000 calories. You just chow on everything. And then Saturday, let's say you also eat 6K. So now we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday to split up how many? If our goal is this is already 12K. That's basically half of everything, right? So what do we have left? We basically just have, what is this? 24.5 minus 12 equals 12.5. So we have 12.5 calories to split up amongst 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different days. So maybe here after this, you're probably not gonna wanna eat much. Let's call this a solid 1K. And Wednesday, let's up it a little bit. We can call this one like 2.5K day. Thursday, we can call this 2K. So what are we at now? This is 2.5, that's 4.5, 5.5. Now we have 7,000 calories to split up between these 2 days. So maybe Thursday, maybe we call Thursday maybe we call this like a 3K day. Thursday, we call this, or 3.5 here. And then Friday, maybe we do so what is this now? 5.5. 6.5. Now we just have 6,000, so we could do like 3K, something like that. Split it up, or you could do 1K, 2K, 7K. Split it up however you want. So this is if you're tracking, right? Split it up however you want. The biggest thing is that you are hitting this number consistently. Here's a whole nother way to think about it. Without really tracking, without really counting. Problem number 2, low calorie foods. I see so many people who struggle with weight gain. They eat the perfect fat loss diet, the perfect weight loss diet. For some reason, that's just what they do. And they're like, those are just the foods that they love. And an example of this is someone who really needs to gain weight. That's their main goal. And then they're constantly snacking on things like pickles, cucumbers, salad with vinegar on it, things like that. And I'm like, but why are you doing that? Like that has 0 calories in it. So that is an extreme example. The other example is people just simply eating lots of food, thinking that however much food they consume is going to contribute to weight gain, but that's not necessarily the case. It's how many calories you consume. So many people are like, bro, I stuffed my face last night. I almost puked. There's no way I'm not going to gain weight. But what did you stuff your face with? What did you eat? And they're like, well, I had some French fries. Oh, it's probably pretty high in calories. I had some pickles. I had some cucumbers. I had some fruit. I had some crackers. I had a big bowl of soup. I had chicken. I had rice. A lot of those foods, and sometimes people will say pasta or things with lots of sauce on it, but a lot of times people will say, oh, bro, I had chicken and rice and all this stuff, and that's great, but a lot of those foods aren't necessarily high in calories. And so in order for you to hit your calorie goal that I talked about a second ago, or just eat a significant amount of calories, it would require you to eat a lot more of those foods to hit that goal. So if you enjoy being stuffed to the point where you can't breathe, then by all means, that's definitely the way to go. But if you don't, then I would focus more on lower volume, higher calorie foods. So what that looks like is low volume, high calories, a food that takes up a little space, but is still high in calories. An example of this is oil or butter, right? So 1 tablespoon of oil equals 120 calories. A tablespoon of oil equals 120 calories. If you, let's say that you currently weigh 150 pounds, and 1 month ago you weighed 150 pounds, and 2 months ago you weighed 150 pounds, we can assume, if your weight has not changed significantly, we can assume that you are eating at your maintenance calories or very close to it. What that means is if you burn 2,000 calories a day, you're eating 2,000 calories a day. You're eating exactly the amount that you burn. We can determine that by your rate of weight, your rate of change in body weight. If it hasn't changed, we assume you're at maintenance. So for you to gain 1 pound per week, you would need to increase your daily intake, increase it by 500 calories daily. So if that's the case, you need to increase by 500 calories daily to gain 1 pound of fat, or to gain 1 pound every week. Can you simply add 4 tablespoons of oil to your food every day? That seems much more efficient, much more doable than stuffing yourself to the point where you just end up throwing it all up anyways. So what does that look like? Pour a tablespoon of olive oil on your eggs in the morning. Pour a tablespoon of olive oil in your rice. An extra tablespoon on chicken or beef, whatever. Or just take take a spoonful just straight. So this times 4 equals 480 calories. If everything else stayed the same and you consistently ate at maintenance daily, and if you found out that that's what you were doing, so you just kept everything the same, and then you simply added that daily, you would gain 1 pound per week. Now, some people don't like olive oil. Another thing you can do is instead of 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 5 tablespoons of butter or heavy cream. Heavy cream is basically just like thicker milk. You can even make yourself half and half. Pour heavy cream, put it in smoothies. It's amazing. It tastes incredible. It's basically, if you freeze it, it's ice cream, basically. It's basically what ice cream is. Can you add extra butter to your food or somehow consume some extra heavy cream? If you pour this on waffles or pancakes with some honey, it's incredibly good. Unbelievably good. Now, if you for some reason want to consume more than an extra 500 calories daily, just do more of this. Or, extra tip for you, 1 gallon, like a gallon carton of whole milk, not 2%, whole milk equals roughly 2,000 calories. Just gonna put that out there, just gonna leave that there. Do with that information what you will with that information. I don't know if I'd recommend drinking the entire gallon in a day, but every day, maybe half a gallon, quarter of a gallon. It's pretty easy to do. I'm telling you guys, this is not difficult stuff. It simply all comes down to a calorie game. So if you are going to stuff yourself, if you are going to focus on eating more food, focus on eating higher calorie foods. Don't waste your time eating dry rice and chicken breast. It's 2 super low calorie foods. I don't know why chicken and rice is so popular. It does not make a lot of sense to me. Maybe because it's simple and it's easy to track, but if your goal is to bulk, I would not eat chicken, especially chicken breast. Rice, maybe. I'd pour a ton of butter on it, but that just is not very efficient. So if your goal is to bulk and you have a hard time getting lots of calories in, eat higher calorie foods. Another thing, if you eat ground beef, go for 80-20, 80-20 ground beef. It's not as common. What's more common is 95-5 or 90-10, right? This 95-5 beef, that's the ratio of meat to fat. That's around 550 to 600 calories per pound. This is 1,200 calories per pound. 1,200. Let's call this 600 at most. I think it's actually less than that though. I forgot, but it's roughly that. At least I think it's 560 to be exact. More than twice the amount. That's enormous. Just simply eat higher fat foods. And then, because I'll talk about this more in another video, but fat has more than twice as many calories as carbs and protein. A lot of people know that, it's pretty basic. But the way to find higher calorie foods is find the foods that are high in fat, right? Oil, this is fat. Butter, heavy cream, that's fat. The difference between these 2 1 pounds of beef is the 20% and the 5% fat versus 20% fat. This one has a lot more fat in it, so meaning a lot more calories. So don't make that mistake. The third and final mistake that so many hard gainers make is believing for some reason that their body is special and that their body just doesn't gain weight. Their body just, for some reason, they're just cursed to never put on weight, never put on muscle mass. They're just cursed with being skinny forever. It's not the case. I do know that it can feel that way. It can seem that way. However, I'm telling you, don't believe that. Think about the calorie game. Think about what you're eating daily, and then think about where in the foods that you're eating every single day you can increase the amount of fat in your foods. And it does not need to be a lot. People say, no, bro, I'm going to increase my cholesterol. It's super bad. Hey, just a little bit. Remember, 500 to 1,000 calorie increase daily. It's not that much. It does not require anything drastic, nothing medically extreme. These are small tweaks to create an enormous difference. High leverage changes. This should not be difficult, nothing extreme, no crazy cholesterol, dangerous changes or anything. Let's think about this. By the way, if you guys want any one-on-one support with this, if you want more help, if you want me to guide you and hold your hand through this and coach you one-on-one, I do offer one-on-one coaching. If that's something that would be helpful to you, DM me the word FIT on Instagram, F-I-T. I'll reach out to you, we'll have a conversation and see if my coaching is a good fit. Back from that tangent, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. 1 gram of protein, 1 gram of carbs, 4 calories, by the way, less than half. So if 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, can you add 100 grams fat to your diet daily, that equals almost 1,000 calories daily. 100 grams of fat is not a lot of food. It's not hard to eat. 100 grams of fat is like, and you don't need to do 100. You can do 50 instead. Let's call it 50. 50 grams of fat equals, what is this? 450 calories. 50 grams of fat is a very, very small number. That's a very small amount of food. I'm telling you, if you increase your daily caloric intake, 500 calories daily, you will gain weight. Period. It's thermodynamics, science, how that works. I promise you, your body is not exempt to science. Science still applies to you just as it applies to me. You simply need to make this happen. And it's very simple. Now, you don't have to only do this by increasing the fat in your food. You can increase the carbs. You can increase the protein. I wouldn't emphasize that though. But the only thing I would do with protein is just make sure you're eating enough of it, 0.8 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Let me write that down for you. Hope you can read my handwriting at midnight. Just make sure you're eating enough. If you were to increase food groups, I would recommend increasing fat because you have the most leverage there. But if you do want to increase carbs, do that. It's great. If you like carbs, increase carbs. Amazing. It doesn't really matter. Fat is just going to be a little bit more efficient, but if you want to eat more carbs, bro, eat more carbs. You are free to do that. I do that too. So if you want to increase your carbs by 100 grams of carbs daily and increase in 100 grams of carbs, that's 400 calories. That's amazing, right? So it doesn't require that much. If you want to increase by, 100 grams of carbs and 30 grams of fat, that's 670 calories increased daily. So I hope that helps to explain things and it helps to clear things up and show you how simple it really is. Because I think one of the reasons why a lot of people struggle with this stuff is because the media has overcomplicated it and brings in so many different things. You need to eat this food, you need to do this exercise, you need to do this hack, you need to do mewing, and you need to whatever. I use this protein powder to bulk, and I'm getting overwhelmed just thinking about it. It's ridiculous. And honestly, it's sad because it's affecting a lot of people's progress. That is all that you need. If you have questions, let me know. I'm gonna go to sleep.